Hey everyone, I'm Sparsh Agrawat. I'm a senior product marketing manager at Microsoft in the cloud division, which is called Azure. I'm currently based out of Houston, Texas. I've been living there for the past roughly 8 years or so.
I know you have very interesting story because it was in army.
Yeah, I was in the U.S. Army. I was there for about 4.5 years. And yeah, definitely one of the most enriching and challenging experiences of my life.
Sparsh, thank you so much that you joined me today, and I'll give you a little bit idea why I want to do this vlog. I want to do it because we can predict what will be in the future, but I believe all people who in our cohort has a huge future.
Yeah.
And in 10, 15, 20 years, when we will look and watch this video, we'll be surprised how you dream big and how you get to some point, right? Did you born in US or you came to US?
I came to the U.S. So I was born and raised in Mumbai, India.
Wow.
I moved here roughly when I was 15 or 16, somewhere in the middle of that. My whole family moved, so I was forced in a way, like, okay, the whole family is moving, so I came with them. Yeah, I came here first, and I went back and finished my school, and then I came back again to do my undergrad.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been here since 2006 roughly.
And Mumbai, it's a huge city, right?
Yeah, if the numbers are still good, it's the second most populated metropolitan city in the world, right after Shanghai. So very, very crowded, lots of people there.
How I know about the city because of book Shantaram. I asked you, and you said you don't know the book.
No, I haven't read it.
Whole my knowledge about India about this book, and they even make a TV show about it, and it's very interesting, like difference between high class and low class.
Yeah.
About how difficult this city is, very difficult because huge city.
Yeah.
And a lot of crime and all, but it's very interesting the same. It's very huge history, and now India growing so fast. Like I mean economically.
Yeah.
When last time you went to India?
End of 2019, early 2020. So right before COVID happened, I was there. I usually try to make a trip every couple of years because I still have my extended family there, my grandparents, my uncles, aunts, my childhood friends. They're all there, so I love to go see them and catch up on what's happening in their lives and just get to. It's also a very grounding experience for me, just because I go back to the places where I grew up and where I got a lot of love and affection. So it's always nice to go back, neutralize myself, and then I come back here, and then you get back into our grind of school, work, whatever that is.
Sparsh, why? Tell us where you work right now. Which company?
So I work at Microsoft. I've been there for just a bit more than 3 years, and I've worked only in the Azure side, which is the cloud business.
Cloud business. Is this business growing so fast now as well? It's a huge part of the business of Microsoft.
Absolutely, I think it's one of the biggest pieces of the business, if not the biggest, and it's growing at a very, very good rate. Especially COVID was massive. And we're trying to close the gap between us and AWS. AWS is the leader, and then we're trying to get a good amount of market share there.
I know you have very interesting story because it was in army.
Yeah, I was in the U.S. Army. I was there for about 4.5 years, and yeah, definitely one of the most enriching and challenging experiences of my life.
Yeah. Did you go somewhere abroad or you stay only?
So I went a few places. The longest deployment was Afghanistan. I was there for about a year, yeah, that was a very unique experience. It was very challenging in different ways, but having reflect upon it, it definitely I'm glad I went through that journey. It helped me learn a lot and helped me feel part of the team that was doing so much to secure the freedoms and the interests that we have in different parts of the world.
And Sparsh was from not that many people from our cohort who asked me about Ukraine and support us, because how war is difficult.
Yeah.
and yeah, it's US help us a lot. Even a lot of soldier like veterans went to Ukraine to fight.
Yeah.
And tell us, what do you think about that US left Afghanistan? In that, I know it was not easy decision, and they did what they probably have to do in that time.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of movies about that period of time, and I have my opinion, but I never been there, and I don't know how everything. It's not political question. It's just about how you feel because you've been present there.
Yeah, it was definitely very challenging to see the images when what we saw, like the videos and the pictures coming out, and how much chaos went through all of that. It was definitely very hard because I had been through all of those places. I had been through all of those different, like the airstrip where they were doing the videos, or the buildings where they had stored all the equipment, or where the people were stationed. It was very challenging to see all of that. In terms of an opinion, it was never going to be easy. I think everybody knew that. It's like ripping off a band-aid to a certain extent. But because of the scale and the extent of impact in geopolitics, people's lives, just all the things we had set up there, it was definitely, I felt like it could have been handled better, but I don't know what that alternate version is. I know it was not just a one person, at least the way I understand it, it was not a one person decision to kind of do it. It was building up to a certain extent. We had withdrawn troops, withdrawn equipment, and then eventually there was a time where we had to do it. It definitely could have been better, but yeah, it definitely was very challenging to see those scenes and how everything unfolded.
How many languages do you know?
Oh, I know a few. Just because growing up in India, you speak multiple languages.
They have different slangs.
No, so these are languages. These are languages. There's lots of dialects, but also a lot of languages in India. I don't want to give numbers. I don't have that, but I speak. I would say maybe 5 fluently, like from India, and then from the neighboring parts, I learned couple of them, and then in school I took French, so it's kind of like 6 or 7 if I was really pushed into it. But yeah, it's good to kind of have that experience too, just because as I move through India and I meet people from India, I get to speak with them in different languages, and it makes a difference, right? It helps build that relationship.
It helps you in Afghanistan as well.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the languages I speak is Urdu, and Urdu is it's born in India, but it's predominantly spoken in Pakistan. So when the Taliban came to Afghanistan in like early 2000s, a lot of people moved from Afghanistan to Pakistan, right? And they moved there and they learned Urdu, and then they came back 10 years later, or whatever time they came back. A lot of the regions in the bordering areas and in Kabul, a lot of them speak Urdu. So it was one part of it. It wasn't the primary reason I was there, but it definitely helped me do my job a bit more, or do my job a bit better than I would have just done as an English speaker, right? So I just got to go in and talk to the locals, connect with them. They also understand that this guy also has this history and they like India, actually. India, they consider them allies. So in that sense, they're very friendly towards like, oh, you're an Indian person. They love Bollywood movies. They love Indian food.
Okay, cultural stuff.
Yeah, cultural stuff. So it's really, really great just to be able to spend time with them. I used to look after like 40, 50 different locals that used to work on base. And they used to tell me all kinds of stories. I have during lunch breaks, I used to bring like these CDs to like watch just during lunch break, because we had a DVD player, and they used to literally, like, while they're eating, they're watching Bollywood movies and they're dancing. So it was an experience that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else, to be able to understand their lives and the challenges they were going through, and from a context perspective, I grew up in Mumbai, not in an affluent house. Like the house we grew up in, me, my sister, and my parents, no bigger than the rooms we stay here in the dorm. So think of that room and just 4 of us, and then kind of building our lives from that. So I had a lot of context from the hardships I had seen in my life and how they were struggling there too, and the challenges they were going through. So a lot of empathy, and I just, we were trying our best to do whatever we can to help them.
and it's some people think like, okay, Afghanistan, all people is bad there, right? Like some people think who never travel, for example, they think, okay, Afghanistan is a country where all people is bad.
Yeah,
you can't say that. It's always like good people and bad people, right?
absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of amazing people I got to meet there. I mean, so many people helped us, go through our missions, kept us safe. So getting to know them and kind of how their spirits are still so strong and they can still smile through all of this. I learned a lot of resilience from them and how to move through life for sure.
Wow. We also spoke about this movie Covenant. It was so realistic. Guy Ritchie, he made that movie about translator
Oh
who
yeah,
was in
yeah.
Afghanistan, and they actually whole movie was about how guy risking his life save a soldier from US. It's actually a real story. In the
Yeah.
end of the movie, they show a picture of this soldier, of this guy from
Wow.
Afghanistan who helped, and it was an amazing movie. I even cried a few times in the movie. Yeah. Sparsh, I'm very inspired to talk with people like you. You tell me, I'm also from Ukraine. I'm not from rich family. I live very poorly. We didn't have hot water. Like I told you today in the class, like my sister wait for 2 hours for milk in the line. It's a lot of struggles, and that's why I think this program is interesting. But what you try to find in this program? Why you came to this school?
Yeah.
Kellogg, because it's a lot of other different schools in around US.
Yeah. And I'll answer that, but like to go back, even the military was a decision to put myself in a difficult position to help me grow. That was and it's part of that mindset, that growth mindset of, hey, I need to put myself in the most challenging places to push through the difficulties to be able to become a better version of myself.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain, right? So growing pains is a big part of like how I'm thinking about life and how I want to move forward. So even in the military, I wanted to go through that, and part of that same journey is to be able to continue that growth. Now that I've worked in the corporate world for about 8 years, wanted to take that next step in my career and become the best version of myself I can professionally. And Kellogg has a great reputation for marketing. They're renowned worldwide, and when I saw the executive MBA program, and I'm like, okay, they're known for marketing, they have a very well-ranked school, and the format that they talked about, like, oh, it's going to be, oh, twice a month we get to do our work, and we get to meet all these amazing people, diverse backgrounds, diverse industries, and just like me and you talking, I would have not, I wanted this, but I couldn't have predicted this, right? I just like, yes, this is the place to be, and I think I made the right call every single time I come here and I meet all the amazing folks in our cohort. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Nice. And what for you the most amazing like moment in this program? Maybe you have something. For me, it's tell Artova in the end of the class. What is for you?
For me, honestly, there isn't one single moment. I always, every time I come in for a class weekend, I learn something new. I learn something that I take back to work, and it molds me differently. Like I go back a changed person every weekend I come here, and that's the amazing part to me. That like that level of growth to have in your everyday life is not easy. So I feel like we get not only theoretical knowledge from the professors, but all the conversations we have. We just go as changed individuals every time we go back to our normal lives, and that's the amazing piece. Like the way I interact with my colleagues or my leadership, just all of that changes the mindset that I'm having. Where I was like, oh, I want to maybe I'm not the entrepreneur kind of guy. I'm gonna work through the corporate ladder. I'm gonna do like, okay, next is director, then VP, and then CVP, whatever I want to be. And now you hear the conversations, you feel the energy, and then everybody's like, oh, I'm trying to start this business on the side, or I'm trying to do this. So you pick up on that energy too, and then I'm like, that's right. Maybe I should be thinking about something like, oh, I should start something, right? So it's also that energy. It's giving you some of that you are in a lot of ways the sum of the people around you and what you learn. And I feel like surrounding myself with such a high quality group of people on a such a frequent basis is just making me a different person and setting me up for success for the next 10 or 20 years.
Well, how many people like you manage now in Microsoft?
I don't necessarily manage. It's more of an individual contributor role where we get to operate as we get to own a product, and we effectively drive the business plans, the pricing models, the marketing strategies, and we get to be the CMO or the CEO of a given product.
Okay.
And effectively figure out how to drive that successfully. So Azure has 200 plus products. So you have PMM teams to be like, okay, we're going to drive our business, and these are not small numbers. These are like millions of dollars that you're driving in revenue, and that's the most amazing part. It's not the financial. I mean, financial outcome is great, but it's the amount of scale that you have to impact lives globally. Like, think about how many companies give you the opportunity to reach all around the world. Every single person like so many people use Windows, billions of people. Yeah. I think it's 2 or 3 billion people.
I hear about Android, 3 billion every day.
Yeah, so Android is the Google side of thing, and think of like that from a Windows operating system. That's another like billions of people, and cloud is also like millions and billions of people. So to create something that adds value and impact, that's the most amazing part. Like, you're building something, but that's going to touch the lives of so many people. And every time I go to like events, or you go to like partner conferences, and you get to hear people, hey, we use that, or we use that, and like, oh, I use your product, that's awesome. And it's just like a nice way to know that you're making a difference. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. You're actually making a difference. Like think of COVID. I joined right before COVID, and remote work became a thing. So how, like, I was working on virtual desktops at the time. So how was I going to my product supporting the ability for people to work from their homes and continue getting compensation, being able to add value, making the financial world run too? Like, those kind of things is just amazing to me, to be able to have that kind of reach as part of my job.
I think a corporation moving to that way, that direction, in Google, Microsoft, when they try to use this entrepreneurial spirit in the company, when you, that's what you say, like, you have small project and you drive this project, and it's very, like, they make a freedom for people, like, okay, you have some project, bring it and we'll invest and you can start work on it.
Yeah,
it's very smart.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your hobbies. Do you have any hobbies? What do you like to play or watch or?
Yeah. So hobbies, first and foremost, I love spending time with my family and my friends. Like, my fun part is like getting a group of people that I love and I trust, and just having them and just sitting together and talking about anything is great. But outside of that, I love to play cricket. I grew up playing cricket back in India. I still love doing that. Houston has a massive cricket league.
Oh, wow.
I play soccer every now and then. I like to go work out. I'll go to the gym or something. It's a good way to kind of start my day and do fitness. One of the favorite things for me to go try out new restaurants and food markets. So my wife and I will go, and we'll pick like a farmer's market, or pick like a specific like restaurant or something, and we'll go and make a weekend out of it. And for me, it's just, I'm a big foodie. I always love like trying different foods.
Do you cook?
I love cooking. Yeah. So for me, that's like relaxing. It's not. I only like to do it when it's not a formally recognized chore. I like to cook with no like pressure. Okay, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna just enjoy with a glass of wine. I'm gonna cook something, and then we're gonna have a nice meal. So yeah.